Welcome to AniBreak, your choice for news on anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and every week I always break down the week's hottest topics to talk about about anime, manga, video games, and the like. This week we're actually doing things a little bit different. We're going to do a live stream, as you can see. It's going to be cool to hang out with you guys again live in chat. I have chat rooms going on everywhere, so if you guys want to give us your opinions about Anime Expo or how the show's going along, feel free to do so at any time. This episode, like I said, is all about Anime Expo 2012. North America's largest anime convention just wrapped up this past weekend, and there's so many things that happened during those four and a half days that I couldn't see it all myself. This was a first year that I actually was able to go as an attendee, which was weird as all hell for me, just for the sole fact, for 7 years I was doing this, with staff, doing the AV stuff, working on AX Live. So it was nice to have a different view on it and whatnot. And plus, be able to hang out with you guys was fantastic. I saw so many people that have been on the chat, both in AX Live and both with OtakuLife.net. It was really, really awesome. But let's talk about a couple things real quick. First off, I had to laugh about the slogan for AX 2012, which was legally able to do things we've been doing since we were 16. Okay, funny, I understand that you're 21, haha, you want to drink and whatnot. But if you're saying things were happening when you were 16, Anime Expo's 16th con was 2007, and no one wants to relive that, what happened there. There was a lot of problems, and if you guys remember 2007, both on the staff side and the attendee side, we were just glad that 2008 came around. So, one thing I want to state is, at the closing ceremony, let's go a little backwards right now, the SBJA Board of Directors Chairman, Takayuki Katahashi, came on stage and announced the numbers, as they do at the closing ceremonies every single year. It's kind of a bit of a surprise on this one to some, and some people actually expected this. They announced an approximately 46,000 unique attendees, which is actually down from last year by about 1,000 or 2,000. There was a lot of things that people can attribute to this, and we'll go through a couple of those possibilities. One being the guest of honor lineup. There were some epic guests, no doubts about that. I mean, Yuki Kajura, Lisa, Ryo Horikawa, and the like. I mean, amazing, amazing people. I was so glad to actually see them and meet them and throughout the course of the con. And of course, they wanted to branch out a little bit to fashion, which is fine. You bring a fashion go, have them do a little fashion show, cool. I understand that. I appreciate that. Then you start bringing cosplayers in as guests of honor. I was kind of wondering what was going on with that. I myself received several emails and tweets from people going, what? Not that it bash cosplayers whatsoever. You guys do amazing stuff that I will never be able to do as long as I'm, this big. But the fact that I usually get those cosplayers at, as guests of honor at smaller conventions, reason being for that is you get more chance to interact with the attendees. With having 46,000 people, you really can't get that intimacy you would need to get, to talk to a cosplayer or a guest of honor cosplayer in this case. So, unfortunately, one of their guests of honor had to bail last second due to family issues. I wish her and her family all the best. Of course, Danny Chu came back as always. He's a big crowd pleaser, and he's split. He split the fans. Some fans love him, some fans hate him. Take him for what he is. Danny is an awesome guy. Personally, I've talked to him, been to his house. He's an amazing guy. What else should we talk about? Oh, the biggest thing that AX had a problem with this year: X Games. So this happened to be the same weekend. The backstory behind that, if you did not know, was you had X Games usually later on in the summer. But of course, this summer is the London Olympic Games, where most of the X Games athletes were going to go anyways. So if they held X Games at the same time, they would have had nobody show up. And of course, it would have been a big flop, and Disney would have been out of a lot of money, so they decided to move it to July 4th weekend. The AX people, the higher-ups, knew about this, I would say, about a year ago, and they worked their asses off to try to work around that. I have to give massive props to Ray and Matt over at for Ops for SPJA. They worked their asses off on trying to secure with the hotels, the shuttle routes. Granted, they had a couple problems here and there with the shuttles, and it's not their fault. I knew they prepped things for the X Games, for the rally course. No one told them until the day of that they were going to shoot 2 car commercials along those routes as well. So yeah, for those of you who I knew who were actually sitting in the buses and they were stopped because of the car commercials, I'm sorry. No one had any idea at AX when that was going on. Of course, there was a lot of road closures, and it brought a lot of different people in the area. Having different people, together, that's usually not a problem. AX has easily, worked together with several other conventions of different genres and whatnot at the same time. This one was a little bit different. A lot of people were worried that, okay, we have some underage, scantily clad cosplayers walking around, the LA Convention Center, and then you have drunk college frats walking around. You were expecting to be some problems. Now, there were some unconfirmed reports of X Games attendees harassing cosplayers, but again, they were unconfirmed. If they were confirmed by AX staff, I didn't hear about it, so hopefully it was just a minor thing, and it wasn't, no one really got hurt from over that. So yeah, X Games caused a lot of problems. I will say one cool thing about X Games, though, was the Hot Wheels huge double loop. And if you guys missed out on that, let me go ahead and play that quick little video for you.
And they've done it! And here we go for the jump! And Greg Tracy lands first and Tanner Faust jumps second. And everybody's done it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hot Wheels double loop dare has been landed.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy on that. Especially they've done, practice loops, and, they had a little bit of a problem at the end. You saw, I think it was Tanner Faust's car that had a problem with suspension. But, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. Was seeing that at X Games alongside Anime Expo. But to be honest, could we have maybe swapped it maybe for another weekend before or weekend after? I think they would have, had a lot less problems. People would have had a better time trying to get to and from the event from their hotels, trying to get hotel rooms. But you know what? For what it is, they were able to work out their problems for the most part. I want to talk about some good things, though. Let's talk about gaming. I have to give massive, massive props to AX for doing this thing with gaming that other cons have actually done in the past. Is having tabletop, arcade, console, etc., all those in one giant room in the West Hall in Hall B. From what I was talking to both staff and attendees, that was a fantastic idea. You would have the ability to go to all of these things without having to roam through, hallways of massive amounts of people. And it was just enjoyable. There was actually space. You could breathe and you have enjoy yourself. I'm really hoping Anime Expo continues this in the future. I mean, I know other cons have done that to great success. I'm hoping they'll follow their footsteps. Exhibit Hall. This year was the first year in about 3 years that I actually stepped foot in Exhibit Hall while it was open to walk around and just check out stuff. Kind of a unique experience for me. The aisles felt a bit smaller than usual. That could be just me, or it could be just the fact that the aisles that I decided to walk through were just slammed with people, as they always are. It was interesting that they swapped the area for autograph with the area for artist alley. In some instances, I thought it worked out okay. In other instances, it seemed a little too spread apart. But still, a great turnout from industry as well as a bunch of retail. I saw some really good deals there that I decided, you know what, I'm broke. I'm not going to try to make myself even more broke by buying them. Of course, the attendees seemed to love it. The carpet came back, and a lot of people enjoyed that. A lot of people were worried about the air wall between Exhibit Hall and Hall G, which is where main events was. I believe they scheduled everything to the point where it wasn't really going to interfere too much sound-wise with Exhibit Hall hours. Plus also the fact they set the stage and all the speakers to point away from the air wall between the two. So as far as I could see, there was very minimal, sound bleed over that actually affected anything. Well, let's talk about concerts then real quick. Main events, instead of being, Nokia Theater and having this big old giant thing, and of course, X Games, who has unlimited amounts of money, thank you Disney, was able to acquire that. We moved everything into Hall G. And for what it's worth, it actually worked out pretty well. I mean, the tech worked well, the stage was nice, there was abundance of seats, they actually put bleachers in the back, partially to help out so you people in the back can actually see, and also partially to help with sound dampening. I believe it actually worked out pretty well. The tech crew, VidCam, they always do an amazing job. They run out the room amazingly well. So, the concerts like, Yuki Kajiro with Fiction Junction. absolutely incredible. I was a fan of her work before, and now seeing it performed live, and those vocalists were just, I'm turning friends. I'm going to say amazing all the time. I don't care. It's amazing. The vocalists were just powerful. Having a 4-part chorus on top of that rock beat in the background, incredible. The other concert I was able to check out was Lisa. Lisa was a bit of a surprise to me. I was a fan of her work initially. Had some stuff with Girls Dead Monster from Angel Beats, and then of course with Fate Zero, and then she came on stage in this little cute outfit, and also turns around and has this like little punk attitude with her, and it worked very, very well. I turned to an instant major fan at the end of that concert. She was a bit of a tease though at the end when she was taking the group photo, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," when she was laying toward away from the audience. "Oh, I'm sorry, skirt," and then she hikes her skirt up a little bit more. I was like, "Okay, fine, you're just teasing. Let the fans have their fun." I missed out on Animetal though. I was so pissed about that. I was busy with some other stuff, and the next thing I know, oh, it's already over. Oh well, at least I caught their panel. Let's see what you guys are talking about on there. Yeah. Spotlights were there to ruin our picture taking. Aw, okay. Well, I mean, for me though, at least with the concerts, they were a lot of fun. The lights were facing the audience were annoying after a while though. Like, why did they have spotlights right in our faces? It's twofold. Basically, you want to be able to get good shots of the audience, when we're shooting with the cameras and whatnot, because more often than not, the management actually wants to get the footage and use it for like a DVD or Blu-ray release down the line. So they need to have a chance for that. Yes, sometimes if they angle it improperly, some of you will actually have it blinded in your face, but hopefully it's not there, 100% of the time. Hopefully it was there only in spurts and whatnot. People are like, didn't think about that aspect. I mean, when you saw some of the shots of the crowd and whatnot, you were like, oh, cool, I can see myself. If those lights weren't there, they wouldn't see you. Plus, there's also a chance for the performers on stage to see, their audience. More often than not, they're staring out into black space. They don't see anything. Those lights that you see are so blinding, they have them on them the entire performance time. So there's just that. It was a nice balance between lighting and sound and the audience participation. I gotta say, there was and I'll forgive my French, there was one big oh shit moment near the end of the Yuki Kaijura concert where she goes, let's have a group photo. And the crowd like literally leapt to their feet and ran to the stage so fast. I could hear the stage moving as they were slamming against it. I felt so bad for the camera guy up there because there was no barricade to stop people from jumping up there. I think one person even got a knee up on that stage. It was like 4.5 feet high. They were hitting his rails. They were stepping on his cables. I was like, that's a very expensive piece of equipment. Thankfully, no one actually got hurt, and the camera was perfectly fine. But I think in the future, AX will go, oh yeah, barrier. Good thing to have in the future. Oh, what else should we talk about? Let's talk about cosplay. Anime Expo, like every other con, is known for some amazing cosplay. This year was no different. I saw a wide arrangement of cosplayers. I saw a good deal of panty and stocking, which is to be expected because Funimation was releasing the dub at con. I'll talk about the dub in a little bit. There was some really cool stuff. There was a really cute cosplayer. There was a kid maybe about 4 or 5 years old actually going around cosplaying as a Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Even had a little sword and everything. It was kind of cute. I put it on the same level as last year where someone dressed up a little 4 or 5 year old girl as Chun-Li from Street Fighter. There was one cosplayer that really struck my fancy. I was like, I haven't seen a cosplayer like this in a while. And I can't remember where I put the picture of it, but it was a couple people dressed as characters from the classic Sega game Jet Set Radio. I mean, they even had the big boombox playing the soundtrack and everything, had the big glasses, and I was like, okay, you took some time and effort into it, that's freaking awesome. There were several really good Luca cosplayers there. One that really stood out for me in terms of all the cosplay was actually during Masquerade, where girl walks up, his little sister from the BioShock series, and then out comes a near perfect replica, life-size Big Daddy, complete with drill and full setup, and it took him 5 minutes to walk around the stage. It was it was just absolutely incredible.